48 nations, 104 matches, 1 trophy. The FIFA World Cup 2026 is here, spread across 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And it is the biggest tournament ever staged in the history of the sport. But let's be honest. While 48 teams will walk out onto that pitch filled with hope, only a small handful of them can genuinely lift that golden trophy on July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Today we are counting down 5 teams that have what it takes to go all the way. 5 squads packed with world-class talent, tactical brilliance, and the hunger to be called world champions. Let's get started. We start with the team that has spent decades being football's most talented nearly men, the Netherlands. 3 World Cup finals, but 3 heartbreaks. But 2026 feels different for the Dutch side. Under Ronald Koeman in his second stint as head coach, the Oranje have built something genuinely formidable. During their qualification campaign, the Netherlands averaged nearly 65% possession, one of the highest in European qualifying. They play with structured triangles and build-up, pressing high and dominating the midfield battle before transitioning quickly into attack. The defensive foundation of this team is extraordinary. Virgil van Dijk, widely regarded as the best center-back of his generation, captains the side and brings an authority to the Dutch backline that simply cannot be understated. Alongside him, Mickey van de Ven provides pace and aggression. This is one of the most solid defensive units at the entire tournament. In midfield, Frenkie de Jong is the beating heart of the team, a gliding, tempo-setting midfielder who can break press lines with ease and switch the point of attack in a single touch. His ability to control the rhythm of a game is world-class. And in attack, Cody Gakpo. The Liverpool forward has been one of Europe's most dynamic wide forwards, carrying the ball at defenders and creating chances seemingly from nothing. Memphis Depay, the all-time Dutch top scorer, provides experience and clinical finishing off the bench. In short, a genuine dark horse that could reach the semi-finals with ease. Portugal enters this World Cup carrying the weight of expectation, the chaos of a generational icon in decline, and one of the most talented squads they've ever assembled. This is a team in beautiful, fascinating tension. On one side, Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years old, the all-time top scorer in men's international football history, a man for whom this is almost certainly the final World Cup of his career. The attention, the cameras, the pressure, it all revolves around him. On the other side, a generation of players who may be good enough to win this tournament even without Ronaldo being the force he once was. Bruno Fernandes is the creative engine, one of the most inventive playmakers in European football, capable of unlocking defenses with a single pass. Bernardo Silva brings intelligence and technical brilliance that few players at this tournament can match. João Neves, the young PSG midfielder, has emerged as one of Europe's most exciting central midfielders, composed, aggressive in the press, dangerous with the ball. Pedro Neto and Rafael Leão provide genuine pace and unpredictability on the wings. And Nuno Mendes at left-back is one of the best in the world in that position. Portugal's playstyle under their current setup is dynamic and vertical. Quick transitions, high pressing, using wide players to stretch teams before cutting inside. They are not a team that wants to dominate possession for its own sake. They want to hurt you on the break and punish you in the final third. Capable of reaching the semifinals. A squad loaded with quality, and a story that has the entire world watching. Country 3, Spain, the beautiful machine. According to the FIFA rankings, the #1 team in the world right now. And when you look at their squad, it is not difficult to understand why. This Spain, Luis de la Fuente's Spain, has evolved into something even more dangerous. They still dominate possession. They still press with relentless intensity. But now they can also punish teams on the counter-attack. They are faster, more direct, and far more clinical than their predecessors. Euro 2024 was their proof of concept. Spain won the tournament, outscoring opponents 15-4 across the knockout rounds, scoring at least twice in every single knockout game. It was a masterclass, and the player at the center of all of it was 17-year-old Lamine Yamal. Let that sink in. 17 years old, and already arguably the most exciting player in world football. Around him, Pedri and Rodri form what many consider the best central midfield combination in the world. Pedri's creativity and movement, Rodri's defensive intelligence and ball retention. They complement each other perfectly. Nico Williams provides the mirror image to Yamal on the left wing. Equally quick, equally direct, equally capable of beating a man. Spain are the clear pre-tournament favorite. If Yamal is fully fit, this is the team to beat. Country 2. France, the most dangerous squad on earth. If any team at this World Cup can claim to have the most pure, raw, concentrated attacking talent in a single squad, it is France. Les Bleus are the most feared team at this tournament, and the reason is simple: Kylian Mbappé. At 27 years old, Mbappé is the captain of France and most would argue the best footballer on the planet right now. He goes into this tournament with 56 goals in 98 France appearances and 12 World Cup goals from just 2 previous tournaments. He scored a hat-trick in the 2022 World Cup final, in a losing cause. He is 4 goals away from all-time World Cup scoring record of 16 goals. Ousmane Dembélé, as official best player in the world, is France's second most important attacker. The depth does not stop there. Michael Olise, 15 goals and 27 assists for Bayern Munich this season, is the kind of player who would be the star of almost any other national team in the world. Désiré Doué, the PSG prodigy who won the FIFA Best Young Player award at the Club World Cup, is making his major tournament debut. Ryan Cherki of Manchester City provides yet another creative threat. In midfield, N'Golo Kanté and Warren Zaïre-Emery has already established themselves as one of the best midfielders in European football. Country 1. And then there is Argentina, the reigning world champions. The team that produced what many consider the greatest World Cup final in history in 2022, beating France 4-2 on penalties after a 3-3 draw in regular time. A match so extraordinary, so emotionally devastating and exhilarating at once, that people who don't even watch football were glued to their screens. Argentina come into this tournament seeking to do something that has not been done since Brazil in 1962, win back-to-back World Cups. And at the center of it all, Lionel Messi, 38 years old, heading to his 6th World Cup. The man who already won everything, multiple Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, Copa Americas, a World Cup, and who keeps returning because the love of the game and the love of his country simply will not let him stop. Well, there's nothing much left to say about Messi. He's phenomenal, and those players around him are exceptional. Emiliano Martinez in goal, the best penalty-saving goalkeeper in world football, who was the decisive factor in Argentina winning in 2022. Rodrigo de Paul in midfield, the engine, the warrior, the player who runs further and fights harder than anyone else on the pitch. Julian Alvarez, 25 years old, electric, a player who scores goals of every type and every difficulty. Alexis Mac Allister, the Liverpool midfielder who has established himself as one of the best central midfielders in European football. Enzo Fernandez, the Chelsea captain who combines box-to-box dynamism with technical brilliance. And perhaps most importantly of all, the spirit. Argentina under Lionel Scaloni play with an identity that goes beyond tactics. They press as a unit, defend as a unit, celebrate as a unit. There is no team at this World Cup with the same collective emotional bond. When Argentina go 1 goal down, they do not panic, they believe. They have proven that over and over again. Their play style is incredibly direct and physically intense. They press high, they win the ball back quickly, and they use Messi as the fulcrum of everything in the final third. Scaloni has built a system perfectly engineered around making Messi the most dangerous weapon on the field without overloading him physically. Argentina is the most complete package. Reigning champions with the experience, the heart, and Messi, the team to beat. So there it is. The 5 favorites to win the 2026 World Cup. Football is not just a game, it is a feeling. It is millions of hearts beating as one across every country, every language, every time zone. On July 19th, one team will lift that golden trophy. One nation will cry tears of pure joy. But until that moment arrives, every match, every goal, every dream is still alive. The World Cup 2026 has begun, and the world is watching.